What's up, guys? Zach Ferguson here, and I thought that it would be kind of cool to do like a mastering tricking kind of vibe today, just because I'm feeling nostalgic, you know? And who knows if he's going to be creating any more tutorials. He said he's retired. To be clear, this is not going to be my format moving forward. I just felt like doing it for this tutorial because it was fun. So to get a standing full, you want to start with a really good backflip. If you can tuck it, that's great, but if you can actually do a backflip standing and be kind of open, like a whip, it doesn't have to be a perfect whip, but like an open whip, then I think you're probably ready to do a standing full. The progression we're going to use today is actually the exact same way that I learned it back in my day. I'm 33 now, and I learned it this way probably around age 19, something like that, just out in the field back in Tennessee. And I think it was called White Oak Park in Chattanooga, Tennessee. If any of you guys are watching from there, leave a comment down below, let me know. But anyway, the key to this method is having a good Arabian. So my Arabians in these examples are kind of not that great. I'm landing a little bit low, but I also haven't done an Arabian in literally over a year. I probably haven't even done a standing full in like over a year. Plus the ground is like uneven in places, and I have a lot of other little baby excuses to make. And this isn't going to be a tutorial for an Arabian, but an Arabian, if you don't know, is basically just a backflip fused together with a front flip, like a punch front or something like that. Any kind of front flip will do. You just start a backflip, you look over your shoulder, and then you tuck for a front flip. But even though my Arabian is not the best in these examples, it's good enough to land my standing full, as you can see. So warm up your backflips, warm up your Arabians, and I can't stress to you enough that you really want to be comfortable with Arabian. If you are like throwing your Arabians and you kind of have like butterflies, you're a little scared doing it, then do not try a standing full yet. Just keep drilling those Arabians until you can do them like really strong. One of the keys for me and a lot of my students that I've taught is looking over your shoulder. So I twist to my left, so I'm gonna look over my left shoulder at the ground, literally like look at the ground behind me, even while doing an Arabian. I wanna make sure I don't have like a B-twisty full when I do a standing full, because I want it to actually look like a full. So anywhere from 45 degrees to straight over the top is what I'm looking for my, like where my feet are gonna go. So to accomplish that, even though you're looking over your shoulder, you gotta focus on this arm going up, whichever side you're twisting towards. So for me, it's my left arm swings up extremely hard with my right arm to make sure that I'm getting an actual backflip motion before I go for that Arabian. Otherwise, it's just gonna go around the side too much, and you're not gonna be able to like get that front flip motion. And that front flip motion is really important to landing your standing full, because you need to have like excess momentum going backwards to land. Because whenever you start to twist, it'll slow you down a little bit in the air. But the process is really simple. All you're gonna do is you're gonna do an Arabian, spot the ground when you're going for your tuck, and then you're going to twist a half. A standing full is just an Arabian half, because an Arabian is already a 180-degree rotation with a front flip, and then you do a 180-degree rotation with the start of a front flip, and then you rotate another 180 in the air, and you've done a 360 backflip, or you start a backflip and then we rotate 360, so it is a 360 backflip. Again, I can't stress enough to you how much like fear plays a part in this. If you're not scared, you'll probably land this pretty easily if you can do a good Arabian. You want to focus on three things. You want to focus on where you're spotting, so looking at the ground behind you over your left shoulder. You can either look forward and then spot over, or you can just look over the entire time at where you want to land and then swing your arms. And if you are actually committing to the full, you should look at it halfway through your Arabian, and then you don't have to have the blind spot you normally have in an Arabian because it's like a front flip. You just look at that spot and then you twist your hips 180, and then you'll just land it, or you'll get close to landing it and put your hands down. The other super important part is your arm swing. If you're not swinging your arms hard enough, then you're not actually going to be able to flip yourself enough, and that goes double for your jump. You have to have a strong jump to get a standing full, because that is kind of fueling probably 70% of this. If you're not landing, it's probably because you're either not swinging your arms or not jumping hard enough. That's why you can do it with like a cheer step, but I don't necessarily consider that standing, but I don't really care. I'm not judging you whether you have like one or the other. You can also use it as like a tool set to get a little bit of momentum if you are like not able to land it. I actually used it to show you the progression of this in a little more like verbatim way. But basically you want to do your Arabian until you're landing it like relatively well, and then once you have it like really solid and you're used to like spotting, then you want to focus and then once you have it really solid and you're used to tucking and spotting the ground, you're going to try to do this half turn at the end. Again, like I was saying, it really is simple, but it's not exactly easy to do right away, especially if you don't have like the power from your legs or your arms. So again, use a cheer step if you need to, like this, so that it can like help you get the little extra power you need. but you can do this completely standing because that's how I originally learned it. But if you're having trouble with that, what you can do is this little tuck jump drill. You don't want to spin on the way up. What you want to do is you want to swing your arms up, spot a target, and then do your tuck jump. So get in a tight ball, and then on the way down, you try to do a 180. This is exactly how it's gonna feel when you're actually doing it, because you're gonna go up, you're either gonna slap or you're gonna get in a little bit tight with like a tuck, and then you're gonna open and turn at the same time. So this can be like a really good tool to help you understand like the feeling that you're looking for at the end. It can just kind of get you over that little bit of a hump that you're like missing if you can't land it. But that's really all you need to know. You just gotta swing your arms really hard, spot the ground, start an Arabian, and then twist. If you're struggling to land it, then it's gonna be one of those three things that's stopping you. For me, the whole like twisting aspect of it isn't necessarily something that's gonna stop you if you're using this method, in my opinion, because it really is only like 2 180 twists. You're kind of doing a 180 on the way up and then a 180 on the way down. Think about it like a 180 with your upper body on the way up as you're jumping, and then a 180 on the way down with your lower body as you're coming down. It can really help you like break it up into 2 pieces, and then it'll feel a lot easier because I'm just doing 2 180s. I'm not doing a 360.
So much better!
You'll probably crash this a lot, but to stay safe, you want to keep your eyes on your landing position, and then you'll know if you're gonna eat it or not, and then you can kind of reach out to the ground. Make sure you always have your hands open and you land flat on your hands and or feet. You want to kind of flex everything like this, because then you just land instead of just slamming like that. But if you do slam like that, then go back a step and make sure you have the previous progressions down again. What can happen is you can kind of start getting lost where you've been practicing your actual twist and you've been doing the standing full, and then you kind of lose the Arabian feeling. Sometimes you need to get that back, because if you lose that feeling, then you're not actually like flipping enough to get your feet down. Like I was saying, you want to have enough momentum going like backwards so that you will be able to normally land that front flip, because it takes a lot of like force to get those feet down like that. And then you have all that force going like forward in that case once you're doing your front flip, but then you turn again and then you're going backwards again. This can help you land standing up instead of crunched. That's why cheer step helps a lot more. But again, standing or cheer step, they can also help you for things like scoot full and cart full, because then you get used to the momentum, and then you just look over your shoulder and you do the same thing for, every full. I have a huge tutorial on cart full, and this is one of the methods if you want to go check it out. Link is in the description. So the real only common mistakes that I normally see are not jumping enough, not swinging your arms enough, or not spotting, but I've already really covered that. So I hope this helped you land or improve your standing full. Like this video if it was helpful, and please stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you guys next time.